The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was the largest room had ever seen. It stretched so far that he could not see the walls on the other side. Thousands of seats rose up in circles around the center stage. Each seat held a different kind of alien. Some had scales, some had fur, some floated in special tanks filled with strange liquids. The lights were soft and blue, and the air smelled like flowers mixed with something could not name. Was the first human to ever stand in this hall. He wore a simple black suit with a small flag of Earth on his chest. He was not tall. He was not strong-looking. He had short black hair and calm eyes, but he stood straight and showed no fear. The Council had invited humans to join them only 6 months ago. A human ship had found an alien probe near Mars. The probe had a message. It said that the galaxy was full of life. It said that humans were welcome to join the community of species, and now was here to speak for all of Earth. Around him, the alien delegates whispered to each other. Their translators made soft clicking sounds as they worked, could hear bits of their conversations. "So small," one said. "Only 2 eyes," another noted. "Look at its skin, so thin, so soft." Did not react. He had been told to expect this. Humans were new, humans were strange. The aliens did not know what to think of them yet. A tall alien with blue skin and 4 arms walked toward. Its name was, and it was the Speaker of the Council. Moved slowly and carefully, like someone walking through water. "Human Ambassador," said. Its voice was deep and smooth. "We welcome you to the Galactic Council. You are the first of your kind to stand here. This is a great moment for your species." Bowed his head slightly. "Thank you, Speaker. My people are honored to be here. We hope to learn from you and to share what we know." Made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Yes, yes, we are curious about you as well. Your species is unusual. You develop technology very fast. You reach the stars very quickly. Many of us want to know more about you." The alien gestured to the seats around them. "My fellow delegates have questions. Would you answer them?" Nodded. "Of course, I will answer what I can." Stepped back and another alien came forward. This one was shorter with green skin and large, round eyes. It looked nervous. Its hands, if they could be called hands, were shaking slightly. "I am delegate of the Mora people," the alien said. "I have read your files. Your planet is called Earth, yes?" "Yes," said. "And you live on the surface, in the open air?" Smiled a little. "Yes, most of us live on the surface." Looked confused. "But your planet has weather, storms, high winds, moving water that falls from the sky." "Rain," said. "Yes, we have rain." Several aliens in the audience made sounds of surprise, looked even more nervous. "And your star," continued. "It sends radiation to your planet, dangerous light that can burn your skin." Sunlight said. "Yes, we use something called sunscreen to protect ourselves, or we stay in the shade." The hall went quiet. Could see aliens looking at each other. Some were whispering again, seemed unable to speak for a moment. Another alien rose from its seat. This one was larger with thick gray skin like stone. Its voice was deep and rough. "I am delegate of the, I must ask directly, human. What is the classification of your?" Had been told about this. The galaxy used a system to classify planets. Safe planets were class 1 or 2. They had stable weather, no dangerous animals, and gentle environments. Most sapient species came from class 1 or 2 worlds. Some came from class 3 or 4 worlds which had minor dangers. Anything above class 5 was considered dangerous. Class 6 and higher were called death worlds. Very few species survived on death worlds. They were places of constant threat, where life had to fight every day just to exist. Thought about Earth. He thought about the hurricanes that destroyed cities, the earthquakes that broke the ground, the volcanoes that buried towns in ash. He thought about the tigers, the sharks, the crocodiles, the snakes with poison that could kill in minutes. He thought about the tiny insects that carried diseases, the bacteria that could eat flesh, the viruses that could spread across continents in days. He thought about the ice ages that had nearly wiped out his ancestors, the asteroid that had killed the dinosaurs, the wars that humans had fought against each other for thousands of years. And then he thought about how humans had survived all of it, how they had built cities and ships and medicine, how they had learned to fly, to split atoms, to reach the stars. Smiled, it was not a nervous smile. It was not a worried smile. It was the smile of someone who was proud. Earth, he said clearly so everyone could hear, is classified as a death world, Class 12. The hall exploded with noise. Aliens jumped from their seats. Some screamed. Some ran toward the exits, collapsed, and other aliens rushed to help it. Delegate stood frozen. Its stone-like face showed something that might have been fear. Class 12, repeated. That is impossible. Class 12 worlds do not produce sapient life. Class 12 worlds produce only death. Shrugged, it was a simple gesture, but somehow it seemed to frighten the aliens even more. Well said, here I am. Speaker raised its 4 arms, trying to calm the crowd, but the damage was done. The secret was out. Humans came from hell itself. And stood in the center of the chaos, still smiling, looking like he had said nothing strange at all. A female Mora delegate managed to stand. Her voice was shaking. How? She asked. How did you survive? Looked at her, his eyes were calm, patient, like he had all the time in the world. We did what we always do, he said. We adapted, we fought, we refused to die. The words hung in the air. Every alien in the hall heard them, and every alien understood something important in that moment. Humans were not soft. Humans were not weak. Humans were survivors of the worst planet in the known galaxy. And now they were here, standing among the stars, smiling like it was nothing. The Galactic Council would never see humanity the same way again. 3 days had passed since its announcement, and the Galactic Council was still in chaos. News had spread across the galaxy faster than light. Every species, every planet, every space station was talking about the same thing. Humans came from a Class 12 death world. Sat in his temporary quarters on the council station. The room was too clean, too smooth, too perfect. Everything was white and silver. The furniture was soft and gentle. There were no sharp edges anywhere. The aliens had designed this room to be completely safe. Found it boring. His communicator buzzed. A message from Earth. He opened it and saw the face of Admiral on the screen. She was an older woman with gray hair tied back tight. Her eyes were sharp like knives. Ambassador, she said, we have seen the reports. The whole galaxy is scared of us now. Nodded, yes, Admiral, they are very scared. Good, allowed herself a small smile. Fear is useful, but do not let them fear us too much. We want friends, not enemies. I understand, said. I will try to show them we are not dangerous, but they keep running away from me. Laughed, it was a rare sound. Can you blame them? You told them you come from hell. I only told the truth. Yes, and the truth is terrifying. His face became serious again. The council has called another meeting. They want to ask you more questions. Be careful. Some species might see us as a threat. They might try to exclude us before we can join. Nodded, I will be careful, but I will not lie about what we are. Good, Earth is watching, make us proud. The screen went dark. Sat alone in the too clean room and thought about what was coming. 2 hours later, he stood again in the Great Hall. This time, fewer aliens ran away when he entered, but they still kept their distance. The seats closest to him were empty. No one wanted to sit near the death world creature. Speaker stood at the center, looking tired. Its blue skin seemed paler than before. This session, announced, will focus on understanding humanity better. We have many questions. The human ambassador has agreed to answer them honestly. Stepped forward, I will answer what I can. A delegate from the species rose first. They were thin and delicate, with skin like paper and bones like glass. They came from a Class 1 world, where the temperature never changed and there was no wind. Human, they said, its voice was soft and high. We have studied your planet's data. We found something we do not understand. Your planet has seasons. Yes, said. Our planet tilts as it moves around our star. This causes different parts of the year to be hot or cold. They shuddered. So your environment changes regularly every year. Every year, confirmed. How do you survive this? Thought about it. We wear different clothes. In summer, we wear light things. In winter, we wear heavy things. We also heat our buildings when it is cold and cool them when it is hot. They looked like it might faint. You change your entire living conditions multiple times per year. This is normal for you. Yes, we have been doing it for thousands of years. Another delegate stood. This one was from a species that floated in special tanks because they could not survive in normal air. There was a shapeless blob of purple that pulsed as it spoke. Human ambassador, we have read about your planet's water cycle. Is it true that water falls from the sky? Rain said, yes, water evaporates into the sky, forms clouds, and then falls down again. And this water, it falls everywhere, even on people. Sometimes, yes, we use umbrellas to stay dry, or we just get wet and dry off later. They made a sound of horror. You allow random liquids to fall on your bodies from above, and you consider this normal. Very normal. Children like to play in the rain. The hall filled with shocked whispers. Could see aliens looking at him like he was insane. A delegate, the same species as stood next. Unlike this one seemed more curious than scared. Human, I am delegate of the I have a different question. Your files mention something called natural disasters. Can you explain? Took a breath. Natural disasters are events caused by our planet. Things like earthquakes where the ground shakes and breaks. Tsunamis where giant waves of water crash onto land. Hurricanes, which are massive storms with very strong winds. Volcanoes, where mountains explode and cover everything in fire and ash. The hall went silent. These things happen regularly? Asked. Yes, some areas have more than others, but they happen every year somewhere on Earth. And you rebuild after each disaster. We always rebuild. His voice was firm. No matter how many times we get knocked down, we stand up again. We have been doing this since the beginning of our species. Sat down slowly. Its stone face showed something that might have been respect. Speaker stepped forward. Ambassador, many of us have one more question, perhaps the most important one. The speaker paused. Why did you leave your planet? Your world sounds like a nightmare, but you survived there. You were safe there in a way. Why did you reach for the stars? Smiled. He had been waiting for this question. Because we are human, he said. We looked up at the sky and saw lights. We wanted to know what they were. We wanted to touch them. We wanted to see what was out there. Our planet tried to kill us every day, but we never stopped dreaming of something more. He looked around the hall at all the alien faces watching him. You see our world and think it is terrible. And yes, it is dangerous. But it made us strong. It made us curious. It made us brave. We did not come to the stars because we were running away from Earth. We came because we wanted to see everything. We wanted to meet everyone. We wanted to know if there were others like us out there. He paused, and here you are, thousands of species, millions of worlds. All of you survived and grew and reached the stars just like us. Maybe you did it differently. Maybe your paths were easier, but we are all here now together. The hall was silent, not with fear this time, but with something else, something softer. A young Mora delegate stood up slowly. It was the same species as with green skin and big eyes, but this one did not look scared. Ambassador, the young Mora said, my name is I want to ask, do humans want to be our friends? Looked at the young alien. He saw the hope in its eyes, the same hope that humans had carried for generations, looking up at the stars. Yes, said. We came here to make friends. We do not want to fight. We do not want to scare you. We just want to learn and share and grow together. Made a sound like a laugh. Then I want to be your friend, Death World Human. You are strange and scary, but I think you are also good. For the first time since arriving at the council, felt something warm in his chest. Maybe this would work after all. Maybe Earth's children had finally found a place among the stars. Captain had been in space for 6 months when she received the orders. Her ship, the Bright Star, was assigned to join a mixed fleet with 3 alien vessels. It was the first time humans would work directly with other species on a long mission. Was a tall woman with short hair and a scar across her left cheek. She had gotten the scar during a training accident on Earth. A piece of equipment had broken and cut her face. She had finished the training before going to the medical bay. The doctors had said she was crazy. She had said she was just focused. Now she stood on the bridge of her ship, watching the alien vessels approach on the screen. There was a science ship, long and thin like a needle, a cargo ship, heavy and square like a brick, and a Mora patrol ship, round and smooth like a ball. Captain, said her first officer, a young man named. The alien captains are requesting a video conference. Put them through, said. 3 faces appeared on the screen. The captain was named Tess. She looked fragile, like she might break if someone spoke too loudly. The captain was named the same who had questioned at the council. He still looked nervous around humans. The Mora captain was named Pell, and she had the big round eyes of her species. Captain Tess said, her voice was thin and careful. We are pleased to meet you. We have heard much about humans. All bad things, I am sure, said with a small smile. The alien captains looked uncomfortable. They did not know how to respond to human humor yet. We have a mission, said, changing the subject. We must travel to the outer reach and investigate a distress signal. It is a 3-week journey. 3 weeks in space together, said. That will be interesting. I look forward to working with all of you. The conference ended, and the 4 ships began their journey together. The first problem came on day 3. Was eating lunch in the ship's mess hall when alarms started blaring. She ran to the bridge, her food forgotten. Report, she shouted. Was already at his station. The ship is in trouble, Captain. Their environmental systems are failing. The temperature inside their ship is dropping fast. Knew what that meant. They came from a world where the temperature never changed. Even a small drop could kill them. How long until they freeze? She asked. Maybe 2 hours. Can they fix it? They say no. They need a part they do not have. Thought fast. Do we have the part? Checked. No, Captain, but, he paused, we might be able to make one. Our fabrication machine could create something similar. Do it. Start now. Opened a channel to the ship. Captain Tess, we are making a replacement part for you. We will bring it over as soon as it is ready. Tess's face appeared on screen. She was shaking. Her thin skin was turning blue from the cold. You would do this for us? Tess asked. But we are strangers. We are not even the same species. Frowned. You are in trouble. We can help. That is enough reason. The part took 90 minutes to make. By then, the ship was dangerously cold. Herself put on a spacesuit and flew across to the other ship with the part in her hands. When she entered the vessel, she understood why they were so fragile. Everything was delicate. The walls were thin. The lights were soft. The air smelled sweet like flowers. It was a ship designed for creatures who had never faced danger. She found the broken system and installed the new part. It was not a perfect fit, but it worked. Slowly, the temperature began to rise. Captain Tess met her at the airlock. There was wrapped in blankets, still shaking. You saved us, Tess said. You risked your life to save aliens you just met. Shrugged. On Earth we have a saying, leave no one behind. It does not matter where you come from. If you need help, we help. Tess stared at her with huge eyes. Your people are very strange, Captain. You come from a world of death, but you act with such kindness. Maybe that is why, said. We know how it feels to be in danger. We know how important it is to have someone come to help. She returned to her ship. The mission continued. The second problem came on day 10. The Mora ship detected something on their sensors. A debris field ahead, with large pieces of rock and metal spinning through space. We must go around, Captain Pell said during the conference. It is too dangerous to fly through. Going around will add 4 days to our journey, pointed out. Better than dying, Pell replied. Looked at the sensor data. The debris field was large but not impossible. She had trained for situations like this. I can fly through it, she said. The alien captain stared at her. That is impossible, said. The debris is moving too fast. One wrong move and your ship will be destroyed. My pilot is the best in the human fleet, said. She can do it. You would risk your entire crew, Pell asked. I would not ask them to do something I did not believe they could do, and I believe in them. In the end, they compromised. The bright star would fly through the debris field first. If they made it, the other ships would follow the same path. Sat at the controls, her eyes focused on the screen. She was young, only 25 years old, but her hands were steady. Debris flew past the ship. Rocks the size of houses spun by, missing them by meters. Watched in silence, she trusted completely. 20 minutes later, they emerged on the other side, not a scratch on the hull. The alien ships followed, using the exact path had taken. All 4 vessels made it through safely. That night sent a message too. Captain, I must apologize. When I first heard about humans, I was afraid. Your world sounded like a nightmare. I thought your people must be monsters to survive such a place. But I was wrong. You are not monsters. You are something I do not have a word for. Brave, yes, but also kind, also good. I am honored to fly with you. Smiled at the message. Maybe, just maybe, the galaxy was starting to understand. Humans were not the product of hell. They were the product of challenge, of struggle, of never giving up. And those same qualities that helped them survive Earth now made them the best allies anyone could ask for. The mission continued. 3 weeks in space with 3 alien ships, and by the end, something had changed. The aliens no longer looked at humans with fear. They looked at them with respect. And that was the beginning of everything. The conference room on Station Prime was full of alien delegates. They had come from every corner of the galaxy to hear one man speak. His name was, and he was Earth's chief science officer. Was not a tall man. He was not impressive to look at. He had messy black hair and glasses that he was always pushing up his nose. He wore a simple white coat with pens in the pocket. He looked like a teacher, not a warrior. But when he spoke, the entire room listened. You asked me to explain how humans survived on Earth, said. He pressed a button, and an image of Earth appeared on the screen behind him. The blue planet floated in darkness, beautiful and peaceful. This is our home. From here it looks calm, gentle, but let me show you what it is really like. He changed the image. Now the screen showed a massive hurricane spinning across an ocean. The storm was larger than some countries. This is called a hurricane. Winds can reach over 250 kilometers per hour. These storms destroy cities. They kill thousands, and they happen every year. The aliens shifted nervously in their seats. Showed another image, a volcano erupting, throwing fire and ash into the sky. Volcanoes, mountains that explode. The ash can block the sun for months. The lava burns everything it touches. We have many of these on Earth. Another image, a massive wave crashing onto a coast. Tsunamis, walls of water taller than buildings. They come with no warning, they sweep away everything. Another image, the ground cracked and broken, buildings collapsed. Earthquakes, the ground itself moves and shakes, cities fall, roads break, people die. The room was completely silent now, could see fear on every alien face. But these are just the disasters, he continued. Let me show you the creatures. He showed images one after another. A great white shark with rows of sharp teeth, a tiger, powerful and deadly, a crocodile wading in still water, snakes with venom that could kill in minutes, spiders small enough to hide in shoes but poisonous enough to stop a heart. And these are just the big ones, said. The small ones are worse. He showed an image of a mosquito. This is a mosquito. It is very small. It drinks blood, and it carries diseases that have killed more humans than any war. A delegate stood up. Its voice was shaking. How are you still alive? How did your species not go extinct? Smiled. It was a gentle smile, not threatening at all. That is the interesting part, he said. Let me explain. He pressed another button. The screen now showed early humans, simple and primitive, standing together. When humans first appeared, we were weak. We had no claws, no thick skin, no venom. We could not run as fast as predators. We could not fly. We seemed like easy prey. Then how did you survive? Another delegate asked. We worked together, said. We formed groups, families, tribes. We protected each other. When one person was sick, others took care of them. When one person found food, they shared it. We were weak alone but strong together. He showed another image. Humans making tools, simple stone knives and spears. We also used our minds. We could not fight tigers with our bare hands, so we made weapons. We could not catch fish with our mouths, so we made nets. We could not stay warm in winter, so we made fire and clothes. Every problem we faced, we found a solution. The screen changed again. Now it showed humans building cities, flying planes, launching rockets. And we never stopped solving problems. Every disaster taught us something. Every enemy made us smarter. Every death showed us what we needed to change. We did not survive Earth by being the strongest. We survived by being the most adaptable. He paused and looked around the room. Your species developed on safe worlds, Class 1 and Class 2 planets with stable environments. You did not need to change because your worlds did not challenge you, but humans had to change constantly. We had to learn. We had to grow. Every generation was smarter than the one before because the ones who were not smart enough did not survive. A delegate named raised a thick arm. But this sounds terrible. You are saying your planet tortured you into intelligence. Perhaps, admitted, but it also gave us gifts. Because we faced so much hardship, we learned to value each other. Because death was always close, we learned to love life. Because we knew how fragile we were, we learned to be careful. And because we overcame every challenge, we learned that nothing is impossible. He showed a final image. Human doctors treating patients. Human teachers teaching children. Human volunteers helping strangers after a disaster. Look at these pictures. After every hurricane, humans help each other rebuild. After every earthquake, strangers pull survivors from the rubble. After every war, we find a way to make peace. We do not give up. We do not abandon each other. That is what Earth taught us. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then, the young Mora who had befriended stood up. I think I understand now, said. You are not scary because you come from a death world. You are impressive because you survived one. And the way you survived, by helping each other, by adapting, by never giving up, that is beautiful. Nodded, thank you. That is exactly what I wanted you to understand. He turned off the screen and faced the crowd directly. We did not come to the stars to conquer. We did not come to scare anyone. We came because we are curious. We want to learn about all of you. We want to share what we know. And most importantly, we want to help. He took off his glasses and cleaned them slowly. Earth made us strong, but it also made us kind. Because we know what it is like to suffer, we do not want others to suffer. Because we know what it is like to be afraid, we want to protect those who are afraid. Because we know what it is like to be alone, we want to make friends everywhere we go. He put his glasses back on. So do not fear us. Work with us, learn from us, and let us learn from you. Together we can do things that none of us could do alone. Together we can face any challenge. Because that is what humans do. We take impossible situations and find a way through them. He smiled at the crowd. And now we want to do that for the whole galaxy. The applause started slowly. First one alien, then another, then more and more until the entire room was filled with the sound of different species clapping in their own ways. Stood at the center and watched. He thought about Earth, about all the suffering that had shaped his people, about all the strength that had come from that suffering. Maybe Earth was not a curse after all. Maybe it was a gift. And now it was time to share that gift with the universe. 2 years had passed since humans first joined the Galactic Council. In that time, everything had changed. Lieutenant stood on the bridge of her small patrol ship, watching the stars pass by. She was young, only 28 years old, but she had already become a legend. Not because she was the strongest or the fastest, but because she was a human, and humans had become the most requested allies in the galaxy. Her communicator beeped, a message from the Galactic Council. Lieutenant, we have a situation. A pirate fleet has taken control of a trading station in the Outer Reach. 300 civilians are trapped inside. We need your help. Looked at her crew. There were only 12 of them, 12 humans against a pirate fleet. She smiled. We are on our way, she said. The trip took 6 hours. When they arrived, they saw the situation clearly. The trading station was surrounded by 15 pirate ships. They were Rax pirates, a species known for cruelty and violence. The Rax were large and covered in spikes. They feared nothing. Except, of course, for humans. Opened a channel to the pirate flagship. This is Lieutenant of the Earth vessel Swift Wind. You have taken control of a civilian station. Release the hostages and leave, or we will take action. Laughter came through the speakers. A Rax captain appeared on the screen. He was huge, with scars covering his face. 1 human ship against 15 of ours. You are joking. Go home, little creature. This does not concern you. Smile did not change. You know what I am, she said. You know where I come from. Are you sure you want to find out what happens when you make a death angry? The pirate captain stopped laughing. Behind him, his crew was whispering, could see the fear spreading. We are Rax, the captain said, but his voice was less confident now. We fear nothing. Then you are fools, said calmly. Let me tell you a story. My grandmother survived a tsunami that killed 10,000 people. My father walked across a desert for 6 days with no water. My mother fought a fire that burned for 3 weeks. I grew up learning how to survive things that would kill your entire species in minutes. She leaned forward. I have been stung by bees, bitten by dogs, burned by the sun, frozen by snow, poisoned by bad food, and once I fell down a mountain and broke 4 bones. I walked myself to the hospital. The pirate crew was backing away now. Even the captain looked uncertain. Your weapons do not scare me, continued. Your ships do not scare me. I have faced worse every single day of my life just by living on Earth. So let me ask you one more time. Do you really want to fight a death? Silence stretched across the communication channel. Then slowly, the pirate captain bowed his head. We will leave, he said. Take the station. We want no trouble with your kind. The 15 pirate ships turned and flew away. They did not even try to fight. The mere presence of 12 humans had been enough. Lowered her hands and looked at her crew. They were all grinning. That never gets old, said Sergeant, her second in command. It really does not, agreed. They docked with the station and helped the civilians. There were in Mora and in many other species, all mixed together. They had been terrified of the pirates, but when they saw the human soldiers, they relaxed. Thank you, a Mora elder said, taking his hand. Thank you for saving us. It is what we do, said simply. Later, as the swift wind traveled back to Council Space, sat alone in her quarters. She looked at a picture on her desk. It was an old photo of Earth, taken from space. The blue planet, full of danger and death, but also full of life and love. She thought about how far humans had come. 2 years ago, the galaxy had been afraid of them. Now, humans were everywhere. Human doctors worked in alien hospitals. Human engineers helped build space stations. Human teachers taught in alien schools. Human soldiers protected trade routes that crossed the galaxy. And everywhere they went, humans changed things for the better. Not because they forced anyone to change, but because they showed another way. A way of facing problems instead of running from them. A way of helping strangers instead of ignoring them. A way of never giving up, no matter how hard things got. Remembered something Ambassador had said in one of his speeches. Earth did not break us, it made us, and now we want to help make the galaxy stronger too. That was happening now. Slowly but surely, the galaxy was changing. They were learning to face small challenges instead of avoiding them. The Mora were becoming braver, inspired by human stories. Even the proud had started to show more compassion to other species. Humans had not conquered the galaxy, they had inspired it. A knock came at her door. "Come in," said. It was, he had a strange look on his face. "Lieutenant, there is a message from the Council, Priority 1. Stood up immediately. "What is it?" "There is a crisis in the Beta sector. A planet is dying. Their star is failing. Billions of lives are at risk. Every species in the galaxy is being asked to help with the evacuation. And they want us." Nodded. "They specifically requested humans. They said," he paused and smiled, "they said that if anyone can save people from a dying planet, it is the species that survived a Class 12 death world." Felt a warmth in her chest. This was why they had come to the stars, not for glory, not for power, but for this, to help, to save, to make things better. "Tell them we are on our way," she said. "All human ships in the sector, every single one. We will not let those people die." As the swift wind turned toward the Beta sector, looked out at the stars one more time. The galaxy had feared them once, now it called for their help. And humans would answer, they always did. Because that was what death did. They faced the impossible, they fought the unbeatable, they saved the. Not because they had to, but because they could. And somewhere across the vast darkness of space, Earth spun slowly in its orbit. A small blue planet covered in danger. A world of storms and predators and disasters. A death world Class 12. But also a world of hope. A world of heroes. A world that had given the galaxy its greatest champions. The humans had arrived. And the galaxy would never be the same.